Hello everyone, this is Nick. Today, I'm going to share a folk horror story. Never pick up things from the river.
Read late at night with caution. Each standalone spine-chilling short tale may leave you too spooked to walk alone after dark. This compilation gathers eerie old tales passed down orally by elders in villages and alleys, alongside widely circulated uncanny urban legends.
One full story per chapter. No follow-up required. Start reading anytime. Faint weeping echoing from abandoned old houses. Unexplained dark figures lingering beside deserted country roads. Footsteps trailing behind you on midnight strolls, and sudden frights popping up from nowhere. Ordinary, everyday scenes hide countless sinister supernatural entities.
Dread creeps in with every story. How many dare you read in one sitting? Disclaimer: all tales are fictional. We advocate science and reject feudal superstition. Full story: never pick up anything you find by a river. They belong to water ghosts luring humans to take their place as substitutes in death. My maternal grandma always drilled these words into me when she was alive.
In her younger years, she once watched a villager pick up a wooden comb by the village river. The man drowned himself in the very same water just 3 days later. I was only around 10 back then and thought she was just trying to scare me. Nearly every kid in the village had picked up random trinkets along the riverbank at some point.
I only learned her warning might hold terrible truth years later, when I attended vocational high school in the county town. Rules were loose at our boarding school. 4 of us shared a dorm: myself, Ajay, Xiaopeng, and Doqiang. Every night, we climbed over the campus wall to sneak out for all-night internet cafe sessions. It was a Saturday.
We stayed gaming till the wee hours and stepped out onto empty lamplit streets. Our shadows stretched long across the pavement. Our dorm backed right onto an old moat, the only route back to the dorm. The water was shallow but thick with silt. Every year someone slipped and drowned there, their bodies pulled out caked in black mud like charred lumps of coal.
As we walked along the river embankment, Doqiang suddenly pointed toward the water's edge. "Look, what's that?" By moonlight, a wooden comb rested on a waterside stone, polished red timber with fine, densely packed teeth, looking practically brand new. Ajay stepped forward and picked it up, turning it over in his hands. Nice craftsmanship.
Wonder who lost it? Xiaopeng leaned in close. Probably some girls. It even smells fragrant. Ajay sniffed and frowned. No, that's river mud stench. Grandma's warning instantly flashed through my mind, sending a chill down my spine. Leave it here. My grandma said never take things found by rivers. Doqiang snatched the comb and scoffed.
Did your grandma also claim dragons live underwater? We could cash this in at an antique shop for good money. Ajay grabbed the comb back and stuffed it into his trouser pocket. Enough chit-chat. Let's head back to bed. I'll treat you to food and internet if we sell it. Doqiang grumbled that he'd spotted it first, but we trundled onward anyway.
The moat gurgled beside us, the sound unnerving. I kept feeling unseen eyes boring into my back, yet repeated glances behind revealed nothing but drifting river weeds swaying in step with our path. We stumbled back to the dorm around 3 in the morning. Doqiang crashed straight onto his bed and fell asleep instantly, while Ajay stared at the comb for ages before tucking it away safely in his pocket.
Xiaopeng and I climbed into bed without a word. I woke at dawn, desperate for the bathroom to find Ajay's bed empty, the dorm window flapping open in the wind. I peered down and spotted him wandering slowly across the open yard below. Head hung low, the red comb clutched tight in his palm. It was barely 6 o'clock. The yard entirely deserted.
I called out his name, but he never turned around. By the time I finished washing up,
Ajay had climbed back upstairs, covered head to toe in black mud with soaking wet trouser cuffs. "Where you been?" Xiaopang asked. "Nowhere." Ajay rasped blankly, pulling the comb onto our desk and staring at it vacantly. "It's such a beautiful comb."
Doqiang stirred awake and rubbed his eyes. "When are we off to sell it?" "Not selling anymore." Ajay hugged the comb to his chest. "It's mine now." Doqiang cursed his selfishness and flopped back down to sleep. We had outdoor PE class that afternoon with free time. Without warning, Ajay bolted straight for the moat.
The three of us sprinted after him and caught up just as he waded waist-deep into the frigid late-autumn river, still clutching the comb and muttering non-stop, "Comb my hair, comb my hair." The icy water numbed his skin. We hauled him back to shore. His lips turned purple from cold, yet he grinned madly. "A lady lives under the water. She said I have lovely hair."
Back in the dorm, he refused to change out of his soaked clothes, sitting rigid on his bed, clinging to the comb, unresponsive no matter what we said. Night brought far worse horror. I got up to use the restroom and passed Doqiang's empty bunk, the dorm window again gaping open with cold wind blasting inside.
Panicked, I rushed to the window and saw Doqiang pacing the yard exactly as Ajay had that morning, head drooping forward. I shook Xiaopang awake and we raced downstairs. We caught up to Doqiang and grabbed his arm to find his eyes squeezed shut, humming an indistinct tune under his breath. After we dragged him back indoors, his eyes flew wide and fixed on the ceiling.
She wants me to keep her company. It's freezing down there. Xiaopang paled with fright. "Who's asking you?" The lady from the river. Daqiang grinned grotesquely. I spun toward Ajay, only to spot the comb gone from his embrace. "Where's the comb?" Ajay said nothing, just jerked his chin toward the window.
We rushed over and watched the red wooden comb drift slowly downstream across the moat under street lamp glow. Ajay vanished entirely the next morning. We filed a police report, and officers retrieved his lifeless body from a downstream sluice gate, tangled riverweed still clamped in his dead fist. Daqiang's family took him home, where he descended into full madness.
He spent all day scratching the dirt with twigs pretending to comb his hair and passed away less than a month later. Xiaopang and I packed our belongings immediately, requested extended leave from school, and never set foot on campus again. I returned to my hometown soon after and told Grandma everything.
She sighed and pulled a cloth pouch from her cabinet, taking out a piece of peachwood pendant for me to wear around my neck. Water spirits lure young folks with abandoned trinkets as bait, dragging their victims down to replace themselves as ghost substitutes. Lucky you and Xiaopang never touched that comb, or you'd share their fate.
Now in my 30s, I avoid every river and lake without exception. Even catching sight of wooden combs for sale on city streets sends shivers down my spine. That dark, tinged red comb with razor-dense teeth haunts my thoughts constantly, its prongs looking sharp enough to rip out all your hair. Xiaopang got in touch with me once years later.
He kept recurring nightmares of the moat, where Ajay and Doqiang stood waist-deep in water waving him over, comb in hand and calling, "Come down and join us." After hanging up, I stroked the peachwood charm hanging around my neck once more. Some cursed items should never be picked up. Once you take them, you can never break free.